My name is Elizabeth Papalato. I'm a community program manager at Microsoft, and my role is to really empower community leaders all around the APAC region to sort of share their knowledge and expertise with others, people within the community, and yeah, just help them grow and learn using Microsoft technologies and just build their confidence and I guess like influence their professional development at the same time. So I'm really passionate about communities, and the speakers that we have on today are also super passionate about community and just empowering others. So it's great to see we've got everyone representing from New Zealand, Newcastle, Sydney, Melbourne. Great to see everyone. So I will introduce our speakers. So we have Victor Olet, a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. I'll do sort of more intros in a moment as well. But Victor, if you want to go off camera and give us a wave, that would be good. We've also got Ronak as well, a Microsoft MVP and also working as an automation architect as well. So thank you so much, Ronak. And we've got Sakib, who is a Gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador as well, who is studying but doing some great things in the community as a student ambassador and really engaged with the Microsoft ecosystem. And we're going to hear from him as well. So the way that I'll do today is I'll give a little bit of an intro to what the Student Ambassador Program is about. And then we will hear from our speakers. And I really want to hear firsthand from our speakers the experiences that they've had with the program and how it's really helped their career. Because I want to inspire and empower you all to see the opportunities that this program could provide you as well. So to kick off, I'm going to start with a video on the Student Ambassador Program.
The Student Ambassador community is a global community of like-minded students that share a passion for technology and for having an impact in the world.
It's an amazing thing for people that both like social gatherings and in the same time they like tech communities.
It's Microsoft helping folks around our campus.
I wanted to improve my skills and I wanted to get connected with people that can help me do that.
Best benefit is the access to MS Learn and LinkedIn Learning as well.
You get an Azure subscription for tinkering around when you join the community and have completed your first milestone.
You also get to be mentored by Microsoft employees.
It's really a very wholesome experience where we're all just trying to help each other grow.
I saw that people were having a lot of fun, but in the same time they were learning a lot of stuff.
Everything that we have in the community is very inclusive and it welcomes everyone as they are.
This is a great place to learn new skills, to connect with people, to create community, to help others.
Students accomplish so much in this community. Not only do they build their own skills and their brand, but they create content, they run hackathons, they get mentorship, and they put that all on their resumes. And they get full-time jobs when they graduate. It's really amazing.
Anything good that's happening in my career probably started with this program.
Be sure to apply for it. You would definitely enjoy being a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador.
Alrighty, so we know the Student Ambassador Program is a global community of students. There's about 3,500 around the world, which is super exciting. And I think that's one of the great things is like it's a diverse community and you really get to interact with people from all over the world. So who can be part of this community? It's for those that are over 16 years old and are enrolled in a full-time accredited academic institution. So that it can include university, college. In Australia, we have TAFE. So it's for individuals as well that can apply. So I guess, you know, the opportunities that the program can provide, it can really help you find a community that you're connected with. And I want to go through the types of communities we have in a moment, kind of like micro communities within the Ambassador Program. But you can really connect with people and grow your professional skills. I think that will be the first thing. But also, I think as you develop yourself professionally and you grow your career, it's about establishing yourself as an emerging leader. So we not only empower you to build your technology skills, but also to build those kind of soft skills, those interpersonal skills around being a community leader, being a leader with your peers, and maybe being a leader with authority, being known for something. Maybe you want to be an AI leader one day and you position yourself around building your AI skills. And when you're looking for those future job roles or that dream job, by positioning yourself as a leader, it can really help you with those opportunities. So we try to empower you to be that leader. And obviously, through the program, there's opportunities to really amplify your impact, bring together like-minded peers, and build your own sort of vibrant communities as well. And I mentioned we have Saqib and Saqib and Victor, who are Gold Student Ambassadors. So as you'll see through the program, we've got kind of different milestones that students can go through. So through each milestone, we kind of give you incentives or gamify some activities to help you through the stages of the student ambassador journey. And some of these challenges, they could be called that as well. It's really about sort of, I guess, showcasing your leadership to the community. So is it through hosting an event or sharing your own content or thought leadership? And there's different ways that we empower you to do that. But we have these milestones, and that kind of is like a North Star that you're reaching towards throughout the journey as well that you go on. Now, some really cool opportunities with the program, or some benefits by being a student ambassador, is that you get access to Microsoft M365, which is really great because if you're learning the Microsoft ecosystem, or you're doing experiments around how to do something, or you want to host your own webinar, for example, you've got access to those resources as a community leader. You have also access to a Visual Studio Enterprise subscription, $150 monthly Azure credits, which I think is great because as you're experimenting, you're doing your R&D and you're learning the Azure cloud, having those credits could be so good in just building your tech skills, because also when you go for that dream job, I think applied skills are really important. So by having access to Azure and those credits, you can really build those technical skills so you can and showcase those projects when you go for that job interview as well, which is super cool. And there's no credit card required as well, which sometimes could be a barrier for some people. And we also provide incentives for hosting your own events, and we provide swag as well. And my role as the community manager is I'm trying to build the bridge more with our industry. So our Microsoft MVPs, you might have heard of them within the community. They're experts that are working in industry, and they've been recognized for Microsoft for just making positive impacts in the community. They share content, they are out there hosting user group events, or they're writing blogs. Anyways, they make really great mentors for students as well. I think great role models, I think is a better word. But I'm trying to connect more about MVPs with our student community so you could really be inspired and empowered by their own career journeys as well. So there's opportunities to connect with our MVPs. And also what I really love by being part of the Student Ambassador program, there also could be opportunities to connect with our Microsoft product groups. So what that means is sometimes we might host sessions that the product group might be looking at the future of a certain product. I don't know, maybe it's Microsoft Teams or Azure, certain tools in Azure, for example, and they might ask students who's played around with these tools. We would love your feedback as well. And I think that's really cool to put on your CV to say that you really impacted, you know, the future of a Microsoft product, or putting that on your CV to see how those types of sessions are ran. That could really build your experience as a technology professional as well. So there's some really cool benefits. And what we look for when a person becomes a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador is we're really looking for students who have like an entrepreneurial spirit, who are really keen to experiment or to build using AI with their projects. We have lots of opportunities that you can sort of explore that way. And we're also keen to connect with students who are interested in building communities. So communities are really important to be part of because they can really influence your learning, your growth, and also build your network and your connections. So community builders is a great, I guess, characteristic of a student ambassador. And also technology influencers. Student ambassadors should really be curious to want to learn technology and experiment, but also be willing to share that with others and influence and help others, hopefully to solve really great problems in the community. So they're kind of the criteria that we look for when it comes to a student ambassador. And I also mentioned, like, when you're a student ambassador, we have different communities within that because it's such a big, diverse group. And you can actually join what we call leagues. So we have like AI and machine learning community. We have data and analytics. If you're interested in social impacts, we have areas around healthcare, education, green tech. If you're more business focused, we have low code, no code development. If you don't want to get deep right into the technical stuff, there's different communities that you can join and you could work on projects together and really learn from each other as well. So there's different, different perspectives that you can learn from as well. So if you are interested in being a student ambassador, I guess the process is you go to our website, studentambassadors.com, you click on the blue button and it will take you to a registration form and you sign up and then you will be invited to a Discord channel. And to be a student ambassador, we kind of ask that you're engaging in the Discord channel, but we have some challenges for you to do. And that's kind of like showcasing your, technical interest and also showcasing your your leadership skills within the community as well. And then every quarter we onboard new ambassadors. So you've got to sort of complete some of those challenges, and then you're formally invited into the program. So that's how you complete that eligibility as well. So what we'll do is, I know you probably have lots of questions about the program. Pop them into the chat. But while we do that, I'd love to go back to our speakers and really hear from them, from their experience around how the program's helped them and influenced their career journey as well. So what I might do is I'd love for our speakers to introduce themselves and just give us a quick background of where you're from or where you work, where you're studying, or you might be doing both, just to share with our audience. So Victor, do you want to go first?
Hi, Elizabeth. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Name is Victor, and I'm a PhD student at Curtin University. This is in Perth, Australia. I've been a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador for 4 years, so I guess one of the oldies in the program, and it's been obviously very valuable. I'm also working. I'm working at a supercomputing facility here in Perth. So it's called POSI, and so actually my work has been, me having this role has actually, I've benefited a lot from the Student Ambassador program in terms of leveraging some technical expertise, which I can share with you through via the various questions or through the other ways on the chat as well. So yeah, happy to be here and thanks for the invitation, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Victor. Yeah, looking forward to our chat. So Kim, do you want to go next?
Yeah, Hello, hi. I'm Sakib. I'm a student, PhD student in Australian Catholic University, and I'm working on AI and machine learning type of things for sensor data. So my research is centered around that. I'm being a student ambassador for almost last 4 years, just like Victor. But I started when I was in my bachelor's degree. So I think in the mid years of my bachelor's degree, I started the student ambassador program, and over that, I started as the alpha that Elizabeth showed over the years. I contributed to the community, became a gold ambassador, and yeah, now I'm trying to contribute to the community as a gold ambassador. I'm originally from Bangladesh, but I'm studying here in Australia for last 1.5 year. So let's see how it goes with the journey. Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Sakib. And I'd like to ask Ranuk.
Hi everyone,
Yeah,
I'm
please
Ronak.
introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Ronak. So I'm basically from Brisbane. Uh, I'm working as an automation architect at Mater Hospital, so leading their automation strategy, doing a lot of stuff with AI, Power Automate, and other sort of stuff. And also, I'm in Microsoft MVP. It's been second year in the program now, within the business applications category, and I have come through the similar journey as Victor and Sakib. So I used to be a student ambassador back in my days when I was in my bachelor's. I'll share more details about my journey later on when we go through the event. But yeah, looking forward to meet few of you and we'll discuss more in depth.
Thank you. All right, Ranak, I'd like to start with you in terms of like our questions. So you have had an interesting path into technology. You were a student ambassador. Now you're an MVP and you have a great role as an automation architect. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey from being a student ambassador to being recognized as an MVP and maybe how that's helped influence the career that you've had as an automation architect?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Beth, for that. So I started my journey when I was doing my bachelor's. I think it was 2014. So there used to be a Microsoft Student Ambassador program, and there was a separate program called a Student Associate program. So I was part of that, and it was sort of very exciting to work on few things with where you, as a student, you don't expect all sort of stuff because you get a lot of credits from Microsoft to work on different platforms. There used to be Windows applications that time where you get the chance to work on a project with all mentors in the program, and mentors used to be MVPs and other people in the network where you have direct access to them to work on specific projects. So I've definitely come a long way because starting from student associate, student ambassador, and then I did my master's from QUT in Brisbane 4 years ago. And then I was contributing a lot to the community with my learnings, whatever I've learned over the years, and shared in form of my articles or from the user groups in Brisbane, working closely with the community of Australian Computer Society, sharing my knowledge there. And that has all helped me in building up my career in automation, and that's why I ended up getting a role as automation architect. And I think the most interesting part was when I was recognized as an MVP 2 years ago. And I think that was a turning point in my career because you sort of get validation on what you have achieved so far with all of your contributions in the community. And Microsoft played a great role in that. And organizations like Martyr and all different organizations, they start trusting on your strategies, what you build for. So I think that was the biggest turning point, and I'm very glad that I have been part of the community because I've always believed that you can't grow alone. You grow together with everyone's learning in the community, and by sharing your knowledge, that's what I did. And I encourage, I think, all of the people right here today, being students, you have the right opportunity to peer with your networks, peer with your, get good mentors and try to understand, work on the right tool sets. Microsoft provides a lot of benefits as student ambassadors. You get access to all those tools and technologies. and start contributing to the community. That would help you definitely in your career moving forward.
Thanks, Ranak. You mentioned you're really glad to be part of the community. So can you explain to students like ways that they can connect with community? Obviously, there's the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador Program, but can you encourage students how they can get started with community and why you think community is really important for career development and just, the importance for that?
Definitely. I think there are different ways to, contribute to the community and being part of that. One of the ways which I have always been part of, try to attend as many meetups as you can, because that is the place where you sort of meet like-minded individuals who all are working towards a goal where they're trying to be part of the technology and they literally want to achieve something with it. And I think as I landed here, I joined quite a few meetup groups. I started going in different tech user groups where I've learned a lot over the years. And then that's when I started implementing a bit of solutions at my workplace as well. And once I got grasp of that, I started sharing my sort of learnings and outcomes from that. And that's how things start building up. So it's always good to be part of the community, start contributing, and also as you learn, start sharing with in terms of your blogs or your YouTube channels. And there are many different ways these days, right? So start using any sort of platform, share your contributions and learn from the community. I think that's the best way to grow your canvas. And look, being in the tech sector, it's always every day it's changing, right? You're getting new technologies in. So it's always good to be part of this community who will always share their learnings. So maybe you may be expert on AI, but other person can be expert in creating the business applications. So you cannot be everything on yourself, right? So you can learn from others how you can combine these two technologies together and try to work on a good project. And I think being a student, it's very important to learn new things. At the same time, you can get a good opportunity to apply those stuff. And programs like student ambassadors, going into meetups, approaching people on LinkedIn, and there are quite a few events that gets posted on LinkedIn as well. So try to grab any of the ways and being part of the community. I think these are the different ways I have used myself, and that has helped me a lot in my career.
Fantastic. I think definitely tapping into communities, going to meetups. I met a student last week who hosts his own AI community as well. So as part of the Student Ambassador Program, we really empower you to be that leader and to also encourage others to do that too. So you can also, if you see a gap in your community, you can be that one that really brings people together, or go to meetups together. Be that person that says, hey, we're all from this university, let's all go to our local meetup here, led by this industry, company, and really build your network that way. So you can definitely leverage those opportunities within the community. So great advice.
Just on that, Elizabeth, I wanted to share one thing that recalled me. So while I was here, I was part of ACS, Australian Computer Society, Queensland, and I was leading one of the student clubs at QUT. That's when we as a student club and ACS collaborated together, started some great learning and tech sessions for students. And finally, we ended up organizing a national hackathon that has helped not the university students at QUT, but all over students across Australia. So that is something you can start as student ambassador. If you have, if you're working towards a goal, you all have the same sort of passion. So this is what you can do. And I think that's a great start being a student. That helps you a lot in your career journey.
Definitely giving back is a great way to be part of the community. So if you're thinking, what can you do? How can you give back and really showcase the skills that you've got? And I know when I was a student, I really struggled with the lack of experience, but I think what my mindset back then was, I just need to volunteer and do as much as I can to get that firsthand experience. So if you're not seeing those opportunities, make those opportunities, and then people will come to you with opportunities, actually, because then you'll be a leader in that space. and people will talk, they'll refer you, they'll recommend you. So I love that, Ranak, your idea became a national hackathon. That's so cool.
Exactly.
A great impact.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, so let's move to Saqib now. Saqib, you're a student ambassador. You're studying a PhD in machine learning, which is so cool. I want to, and you said before that you came from Bangladesh. You've been in Australia. So I guess you probably started your journey in Bangladesh as a student ambassador. But why did you want to join the student ambassador program, and where are you today with your journey in the program?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Basically, for the student ambassador program, I think back 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when I wanted to join the program, it's because of some of the benefits that the student ambassador program offers. So if I specifically mention about the benefits, is one of the key benefits of a student ambassador program is getting the Azure credits, the monthly Azure credits. So I was then a sophomore university undergraduate student in computer science, but I was not really familiar with the cloud computing skills, because you see the Azure cloud and other clouds are they have some credit type of thing, so you need to pay to use those subscription, you explore those technologies, right? So kind of the student ambassador program, as it gives you the $150 credit every month, you can experiment with the cloud and you can learn a lot of things in the cloud. So even the basic things in the cloud, when you want, let's say you try to make a virtual machine, you need to spend dollars. So as a student, we don't have that access to spend that much dollar every month, but as the cloud student ambassador program gives you credit, you can use that credit and you can grow your cloud computing skills. So that was one important technical thing that I was focused to. Another thing is to meet new people and to meet new ideas, because look, when we are studying in technology field, it's a fast-paced field where everyone is doing a lot of things, but you don't know that what next, because let's say I'm a student and I'm learning some technology in my university as a part of the course, but I don't know it's enough or not. Is all of the students all over the world doing the same thing, or what they are actually learning, how they are improving their skills? So I think student ambassador program just gives you the platform to broaden your outlook, to connect with people from all over the world, which are basically similar minded people. And you can really understand that, okay, people from India, people from Australia, people from US, they are learning this particular technology in this way. So I can also understand that, okay, I might to need that particular technology now, or I might to do that thing now. So I think it gave me a good idea about not only using the technology, but also choosing a career, because I'm doing PhD now, I'm doing a research career now. But when I was thinking about research, I didn't have an idea that how should I do a research as an undergraduate student. But I found some students in the Microsoft Student Ambassador community from a different country who were publishing papers in the undergraduate level. And I was able to reach out to them. I was able to collaborate with them to learn from them. Okay, how can I do the research in undergraduate? So I think it is a platform that basically gives you a broader outlook without any country boundaries. So if you don't have access to certain type of resources or certain type of communities in a boundary of your university or in your country, this program can allow you to break that boundary and make you able to get resources from all over the world. So I think that is what helped me a lot. And basically, I have got a lot of things from the community. Now, what I'm looking to forward to is to help students like me who are really, like, I'm quite a senior student now. We're doing a PhD, but I want to help other students which are, let's say, in undergraduate, where they're starting career. I want to be a medium for them to understand about their confusions, what they have about the technology world, about their career, what should they do or what what they shouldn't do. So I think this program gives me an opportunity to be a voice for them and to help them directly. So yeah, I think it's a kind of a large experience what we gathered over the years, but it's really a exciting experience for all of us. Yeah.
I love that, Saqib. I love that idea of giving back. And I think what really, and I said this at the beginning, what I love about community leadership is just that passion to want to give and to help others. But you're also on that learning journey as well. And sometimes I think, we do have a little bit, I do have imposter syndrome. Sometimes I think I need to be perfect or really know everything really deep, but you can even take people on your learning journey as well. But then you could learn together. And I love that you like to give back as well. And and I love that. And also, like, you're kind of, in a way, and I see this with Victor as well. We'll come to Victor in a moment, but I see the great work that you're doing because you've been in the program for so long, you've been giving back for so long, you make a really great candidate for our Microsoft Most Valuable Professional program. So once you graduate, you're in the workforce, there's actually a new community that you can be part of as well that, with like-minded professionals. So, there's definitely some great flow-on effects as well from being part of the Ambassador program. All right, so I love to hear what your highlights, Saqib, has been with the program so far.
If I want to share some particular highlights, one of the highlights could be being a Gold Ambassador, taking the journey, because when I became a Gold Ambassador, it was kind of like you have to meet some requirements. So that requirements includes organizing some tech events for the community. So what I learned from the program is, so you are a student and you are learning a lot of things, right? But how do you share what you learn with the other communities? So this program inspired me to learn about how to share things with people, how to organize tech events, how to write technical blogs, how to make technical YouTube videos, how to inspire other students to join the community and get the benefit, and how to mentor other students like me. So that's one important thing. Another important thing is to participate in different type of projects. Like, because of the Student Ambassador program, I was being able to part of the Machine Learning for Beginners curriculum from Microsoft, which is basically a self-paced curriculum for those who wants to learn machine learning. It's available on GitHub. So I was being able to part of that curriculum designing. I was an author for the first chapter. I helped with the quizzes. I have reviewed the curriculum, this and that. So yeah, so I think that's one of the biggest highlight I can say from the program, that because I'm in a PhD field and I want to go in an academic career for future. So how to teach students, how to design curriculums, I think I got that experience way back 2 years back or 3 years back. And that time I was not supposed to get this type of experience. I got this experience because I was a part of Student Ambassador community, and because I was able to work with some Microsoft officials who are basically designing learning curriculum. So I think, yeah, that's really an important thing to me. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so let's go on to Victor now. I'd love to learn how being a student ambassador has influenced where you're today, Victor, and has there been any significant moments for you in the program?
Okay, can you hear me, Elizabeth?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I got most of what you said.
Do you want me to repeat it?
I think the question was basically how has the Student Ambassador program benefited me and how it has helped me to where I am today. So
yeah, definitely, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and I should say I really thank Rona and Saqib as well. Like, they shared a lot, like, which is really covers a lot of things. Like, I find the value in the program myself. I think for me, the ambassador program has been especially useful as someone who's not coming from a naturally technical role. So my area is in chemistry and computational chemistry. So not many people would join the program from that, like coming from a non-STEM, non-tech field. So it was actually very directly helpful for me because it helps me hone the skills that I need to complement the sciences, the chemical sciences. So from a very basic level, one of the ways that I've really benefited from the program and how it has enhanced my own learning is just adding a lot more of a computational approach to my studies. So for my PhD, I didn't mention it earlier, but it's like in chemical engineering, so energy and renewable energy. And a lot of my work is actually wet lab based, so experiments and things like that. It's only until the last couple of years where I started focusing more on the computational side. But part of that confidence to look into that actually came from my experience within the Student Ambassador Program. So I would join different leagues. They used to have social impact projects. I think I did one on digital accessibility, and there was another one I did, can't recall the name, but just, I think there was one on machine learning as well. And so just working with different people and spending time, just how do they incorporate technologies, actually learning together. So I may not have had that much of experience, but working with them and saying, actually, this is doable. It's not as hard as the term can be when someone just incorporates AI, and like it can be very scary and daunting. But when you actually work on a project, and you begin to understand it, it becomes quite doable. And along the way, you pick up a few skills. And so I became quite more confident in just working with servers, being able to do various data processing and things like that from a computational side. And I was confident enough to then implement computational chemistry. And that has actually become one of the novel areas for my PhD research, is the computational part, because we're able to explore certain things that we cannot explore from a lab experimentation alone. And so that was, I think, one of the key benefits I've found through the program. And even now, like, I'm coming to wrapping up my PhD. I am working at a supercomputing facility, POSI, and that has been useful because some of the work I do here is based on high performance computing, which again is just an extension of some of the things that I came across from the Student Ambassador Program. I think Saki mentioned about Azure. Azure credits, those are really, really useful because I can practice with the various services. So Microsoft has really been going towards the HPC side, high performance computing side recently, and I've actually get to try different services within using my Student Ambassador credits. I learn a lot, and some of the things actually directly applicable to the role I have here within POSI. So it's been really, really beneficial to me and be able to see the intersection of technology and science. They go well together, and the MLSA program has been very helpful for me to explore this particular pathway.
Fantastic, Victor. It seems like you've formed a really great niche in what you do. Like, it's so unique, but you've made the intersection of AI and science become merge really well. And we've talked about also opportunities for once you leave the program, once you're finish your PhD and you're out there in the workforce. There's even a niche within the MVP program where there's not many MVPs doing what you're doing, and it's really empowered you to find that path. So I love hearing that. So you talked about you had opportunities to work on a project, and being in the program as a student ambassador, we do sort of ask that ambassadors are empowering the community, that they're showcasing their skills as well as learning as well, and that you've got to be engaged within the community if you want to be that healthy leader that everyone kind of recognizes. So how do you balance your studies, work, and your commitments within the ambassador program? How does it all flow? Is it a lot of work? Please be open and transparent. How do you balance everything?
I think, it is work. I mean, it is on top. I think, for example, from a PhD level, it's obviously, but I think I found it, I didn't feel like it was a lot of work because I really enjoyed what I was doing. And I think it complements well where I want to go. I think it's more of seeing studies is you're studying for a particular, there's somewhere you're trying to go. And in that sense, my PhD is giving me certain skills, certain research skills, certain education skills that I really want to explore. But where I wanted to go also needs other skills, other expertise. For example, community building. That is something I wasn't getting directly from my PhD. There's certain technical skills I wasn't getting that directly. Okay, from a computational side, I wasn't getting that directly from my PhD. So to me, it just seemed to me that it's not really trying to do something completely separate. It's very well integrated to where I'm trying to go. And so it's actually very pivotal to where I'm trying. That's for me, that was my motivation to give time to it, because like Saqib said, you meet people from all around the world, people of different skill sets, and it adds tremendous value to me and where I'm trying to go. So I think, of course, balancing is important, but I think being able to see the value and seeing where you're trying to go and see how you can, if the destination you're trying to get to, I think that helps a lot in alleviating the burden of feeling, oh wow, there's a lot of things to do. I think looking back, I'm really glad I put in the time. I mean, to be honest, we're based in Australia, and a lot of sometimes some of these events are run not favorable to Australian time, because you find it can be very straight, a very different time. And it did work for me because of my PhD program. I'd rather something early morning or late at evening because it suits me well. I can actually spend time doing other things. But we may need to make certain adjustments around that. But again, it's value. I think the value is worth it. Just what you get from the program helps. Is worth giving that a bit of extra time, extra effort to the program.
Fantastic. All right, so I'd like to now ask both Victor and Saqib, has being part of the Microsoft community helped shape the future direction in which way you want to take your career? I think we've kind of touched on it a little bit, especially with Victor, but yeah, I'd love to hear how being part of Microsoft community has really influenced the direction in which you're going with your career.
Who should go first, Elizabeth?
Either. Victor, you can.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I've sort of touched on it, but to be very practical, like the area of AI and high performance computing has really stood out to me. And that is very largely to the Ambassador program, and especially recent years. And I think Ronak mentioned is like there's that need. One of the spirit of the Student Ambassador program is, I think, that idea of just keeping on learning. You always learn all the time. So I feel even now in my role, I do feel like there's just so much to learn. And recently, I've been attending the meetups, like particularly on the Azure meetups, and just looking at the cloud. And one of the things I'm starting to realize is the knowledge that I've been picking up along the way is opening up opportunities for me. Like, for example, in my current role, I'm just trying to see, some of our services may need to run on the cloud. Okay, how can we implement this particular service for us? And it's not something that's coming out from, it's just the knowledge I've had, the knowledge I've picked up. It's just opening up doors, ways to improve the efficiencies of what we're doing in-house. So I want to say, I guess, I'm looking from coming from a purely wet lab experimental point to now being able to consider like computation, consider high performance computing, and consider machine learning and AI. I think it's really shaped where I'm trying to go, and there's just so much more to learn as well. And I'm looking forward to exploring that in the memory past and also future in the future as well. So lots to learn, I'd say.
Very exciting though.
Yeah, really exciting. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Saqib, I'm curious to hear how it shaped your future.
I think what the program inspired me most is to give the confidence to take up some leadership roles, because I think in my career, I think the technology career is kind of where for us, mostly we spend our times with computers, with machines. I think we don't get a time to talk people with the easy type of wordings, right? So we don't get the chance to present we get a chance if we go to conference on that, but in a lower level sense, we don't really communicate with people like other domain. We are more busy with like programming, technologies, this and that. I think it gives platforms gives you the idea or the what I will say resources to build up your leadership skills, so that in the future career you can really go with the leadership type of careers. Not only focus, even in every career there's a leadership type of role. If you're a researcher, you can take research manager type of programs. In each and every role, if you're in academics, you need to do some leadership skills. So I think this program has given me the confidence that, okay, I can lead a group of students, or I can lead a group of people in a topic of technology and can get some projects successful. Even in a small scale, it gives me that confidence, which can I map to a larger scale, maybe in future. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so Ranak, I'd love to ask you a question. I think as an MVP and as a tech professional, I have a marketing background, so everyone knows, but I see a correlation between personal brand and being that community leader and being want to be seen as an authority in a network, that you do need to invest in your personal brand. So I'm interested to hear how programs like Student Ambassador Program or the MVP program has really helped you build your professional personal brand and that authority as a technical expert.
Definitely. As you said, personal brand, it definitely makes your personal brand, because whatever you have done in the community, contributing with your articles or presenting in user groups or whatever you have done, and whatever ways you have used, Microsoft is validating your stuff, whatever you have done, right? And that works as a personal brand, and that helps you a lot in your career when you go out to give interviews or something, and when you say you are an MVP in this category, that itself says everything. So I would say that almost 70 to 80% of your interview is done, and that is done just because you have built yourself as a brand, and Microsoft has accredited you and utilizing that position as an MVP, or as a Microsoft Student Ambassador. So I think these all things help to build your personal brand, and you just have to make sure that you are consistent with what you're doing, because anyways you have been validated with a big organization like Microsoft, but you have to ensure that you remain consistent with what you're doing, work on your project, share your knowledge as much as possible, and it definitely helps you as an individual at your workplace as well. Like it is helping me right now at Martyr, because Martyr is a not for profit organization. So basically it's a community work. We try every day, we try to improvise our patient experience with technology. And I have been part of that COVID vaccination group, when we have all of us have gone through that tough times of COVID, and that time I felt the importance of being part of the community, because here all of us were working as part of community and help improvising patient experience, so that they do not panic about whatever is happening around, getting their vaccination certificates with technology. That was massive. So I think overall it helps you a lot.
Great. All right. So I would love to put it in the chat. I would love to open up questions to anyone who wants to ask our speakers anything around the program, the Student Ambassador Program, building career, just anything around those topics. And we've got about 10 minutes left until the session. So we'll just answer some questions from the audience. And we've got one from Jason, which I think is a really great question. Jason asks, how can the Ambassador Program help me with my communication and leadership skills, because I'm an introvert? I think most of us can relate to this as well. I've definitely built my confidence over time through my career as an introvert, but I'd love to put it to our speakers who are all at different stages in their career. How has the programs like the Ambassador Program really helped you build your confidence to be that leader?
I think I can just give it a start. So once you start going out in the community and start interacting with people, that's the first move in that space, and that gives you that confidence, and you sort of try to mingle with people and understand things. And when you start seeing someone presenting about some, maybe that person is a student or a professional, you sort of get that motivation that, okay, I can do that as well. Because as a student, I believe, when I was a student, I believe I had the skills with me. It's just that I was not getting that motivation to go and present things out. But going out in these events like meetups or user groups or and an online event gives you that motivation and pushes you to the next level of the one day I would like to present as well, because you sort of relate with that individual because he or she is also as the same age and also same sort of field.
Yeah, right. I agree with Ronak, what he said. And I think what I want to add is basically in this program, you have some milestones that you want to achieve over the time. And those milestones have some type of basic requirements that you need to organize an event, you need to host an event, you need to speak in an event. So whenever you are speaking in a community event, it makes you comfortable over the time, because the first event you are going to organize, you will be afraid, you won't have confidence. That's all right, but you will see that when you are organizing event with other student ambassador, you are speaking in an event, trying to present your ideas, everyone will be helpful towards you, and there would be Microsoft officials who are going to help you to learn how to speak with people, how to deal this hosting events. I think that's going to help you over the time to build your skills of this communication skills or leadership skills, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Victor, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate all that. Just a small add. I think one of the, I think confidence is also like how to acquire confidence just comes from small wins. Like slowly, like Saki mentioned the milestones, like there's just small wins. So you're talking to, not just talking to other people within the group, getting to host an event or things like that. It actually builds your confidence quite a bit. So it's not like a big leap. You have to get like super confident in quickly. It's just small wins, just one win at a time. And you get to a point like, wow, you see where you've come from. It just goes a long way. So I think focusing on that is of assistance.
Yeah, love that. And I just popped in the chat. That question's so great, and everyone's responses there. It reminds me of a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it talks about how to build healthy habits. And one section he talks about is the power of community and aligning yourself with people that you want to be aligned with. So if you want to be that thought leader, be in the space with all the experts, right? Be in the room, and then like you see how they behave, and they kind of unconsciously will keep you accountable to build your skills, and you kind of pick up their habits and their behaviors, and slowly you'll build that confidence. So I think, yeah, be part of community. And if you're an introvert as well, that's why this community is so great, because it's global. So you don't always have to be in front of a camera. You can be doing things, if you love to write, you can do things and build your network in other ways on LinkedIn, share content that way. So there's so many different ways that you can actually be part of that as well. All right, so we've got another question from Susmita. What do you blog or post on YouTube about as part of your activities? How do you recommend we get started? Would putting projects on a GitHub count? I think all of you might have GitHub accounts, but I'm not sure if all of you do YouTube or blog. So maybe we can sort of break it down, yeah, with all your experiences.
Yeah, so maybe I can go. I think what I remember back in 4 years back, you can start with very simple YouTube videos. Like I remember I did a YouTube video on how to create a computer vision API and how to use it for an image classification problem. That's a very straightforward thing. You go to Azure, you create an API, and you copy that API in a Python code, and just 2 or 3 lines of codes to do a classification of for celebrity classification. I think there was a feature in Microsoft 3 years back when you give a celebrity picture and it can classify which celebrity it is. So it was interesting, it was straightforward, but it also gives you some idea about some basic technologies like API handling, cloud computing. So I think you can really start with this type of small things. There are a lot of small things there, and if you like it, if you get comfortable with it, you can go with bigger things also. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I completely agree with Sakib, and also Elizabeth touched on a great point that you need not to be in front of the camera always. It's a global community. So at the end of the day, it's a contribution, whether it's a blog post or a YouTube video. So if you're not comfortable coming out in front of camera and you sort of hesitate, always start with writing a blog post. I did that in the past and I continue to now. I use all sort of mediums, but blogging is a great way to give away your shyness and start writing and sharing content about it. And I'm sure in few months of time you will be very confident in coming out in front of camera and start sharing your details on YouTube or any other mediums or in-person events or conferences. So it's up to you what you want to start with. At the end of the day, it's a contribution to the community. So,
and it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing is like if I post out a video, which I haven't done yet, but I hope one day I could share my content in video. That's my personal goal, but I'm scared of perfectionism and like having to perfect the perfect edit and the perfect thumbnail. But I have to let go of that fear and just do it. And then you refine, you get better, you find your flow, your processes that, that works. Victor, did you have anything to add to that question?
I think you've all covered everything that I was going to say as well. So.
Great. I wanted to highlight the GitHub account. So I think as any student, you should all have your projects on a GitHub, at least maybe like you should have your projects somewhere. GitHub is a great place to showcase your project. So even if you're not in this program, I think what I've learned in the industry is employers want to see your skills, your applied skills. What have you done to like work on a project? There's so many things online that actually walks you through how to build something where you don't need to pay for any subscriptions or anything. It's free learning and it's free source resources out there. So I think definitely have a GitHub, showcase your technical skills through your projects. That would be really beneficial, and that will that's your point of difference to everyone else who's going for that job. And employees love to see sort of that proactivity and that curiosity that you've got. In Microsoft, we talk a lot about a growth mindset, and that's a great way to showcase your growth mindset. So we've got a couple of minutes, so I think we've got 2 more questions. So Madison asks, have you found opportunities through this program that you may not have found otherwise? And if so, what sort of events are you most likely to support hold? What is your personal preference? I'm not sure that the last part, but the first part says, have you found any opportunities through this program that you may not have found otherwise? Which I love that question. Any aha moments or any like, wow, I'm so glad I came across that.
Yeah, definitely. I will just share one great experience when I was a student ambassador. I was not across this, that there's something called as Imagine Cup, like which Microsoft used to organize. And to be honest, it was that moment where I thought that, okay, I can be part of it. I can contribute to it. Winning it or being a nomination is all different thing, but you get a chance to contribute towards it. And that's where we came up with our idea with a group of friends. We all worked for it, worked collaboratively, and there was a big learning out of it. We didn't win it. We didn't got nomination to the end stage, but at least there was a great learning, and I've never come across such an event. It's a global event where you get to learn about other ideas as well, what students have worked on. So I think it wouldn't have been possible if I wasn't part of this program.
That's so cool. I never knew you were in Imagine Cup, Ranak. That is so cool. Okay, yes. I need to contact you after this. That's so cool. Imagine Cup is amazing. It's a global competition for student projects. You can win $100,000 US and a mentoring session. You get flown to America, to Seattle, mentoring session, everything. Like, if you have a really cool idea, if you're an entrepreneur with an idea, you can totally enter that. We also have other opportunities for students to join the Startup Founders Hub. I'll put that in the link as well. It's outside of this program, but I guess they all integrate with each other. But if you're interested in building projects, you can also have your idea and join the startup community as well, which I will share. But did anyone else want to go on from that question around any of those moments that you had that you didn't know that existed, but when you came across it, it was a really nice surprise?
Yeah, I think I can add up to what Ronak said. So he had an experience with participating in Imagine Cup. my experience was being a judge in Imagine Cup. So basically, I was being able to participate as a judge in Imagine Cup in for Microsoft Imagine Cup Junior once, and also for the main round for knockout for the knockout round in the main version knockout round. So I was being called as a judge because I was a student ambassador by back then, and they were looking for judges who are experts in AI and machine learning type of things. So I submitted my profile, and I got the chance to participate as a judge in the competition. So that's a really good experience because I got to know what are the criterias, how you judge the Imagine Cup participants, get to see different type of interesting ideas. So I think it's a new experience. That's one thing. Another thing is that I already mentioned about being a part of the curriculum of machine learning for beginners, because I want to get a chance, I think, of that type ever in my life if I was not a student ambassador, because I know machine learning, but someone would not call me directly to participate in a Microsoft Learn module, or if you are even a machine learning expert. So I got the chance because I was student ambassador, also as a being a machine learning expert. So yeah, so I think this type of experience, even if you have the skills, if you don't have the right door to knock, I think you miss the opportunity. So student ambassador could give you the right door to knock when you have the skills or when you grow the skills over time. Yeah.
All
Can
right,
I also
Victor,
add?
lucky last
Yeah.
to wrap up
Yes.
for today. Your words of wisdom is like your
It's at the bar to hide, isn't
yeah,
it?
your encounters with the program or with opportunities.
I mean, that aside from knowledge, I think the fact that the knowledge we gain itself already changes a lot of your trajectory where you want to go. Like for me, I think I've already shared, like going more into HPC and AI. But other than that, like Sakim talked about opportunity. I think for me, it really hit me like when I got to co-host with Renee, who's a cloud advocate. We got to co-host the 2022 Student Summit, and that was because I was an ambassador at the time, and it was, I think it was like a 4 hour, 5 hour like thing. We were just, and it was like 3,000 students. So 1,000 live, I think 1,000 live, and then 2,000 on like watched after. And I was just thinking, wow, that is, I've never co-hosting is actually like, it was very challenging because you know it's the chemistry. By all means, it's a bit of course you know a few things, but then the chemistry that you have with the person, and just hosting people and being able to transition from one city to another, those were skills like I just don't think I would have many, especially as a student. Like I would pick up, just you don't have these opportunities just lying around. So I think that was and it was an eye opener for me, because you just get confidence to try other things as well. So to me, like, yeah, I think that there's so many opportunities that you get within the program. You pick up the skill, but the window is not always easy to find. And I think the student program, MLSA, offers many of those windows, which is been really nice and very enlightening and inspiring, I think, for myself.
I love that. Yeah, I guess just being in the community, you just never know what will pop up. Like there is like a structure to the program, but like it's also a lot about like being at the right place at the right time and having the right conversation and seeing that email that comes through or attending that event, and then things happen, magic happens. And I love that you had the opportunity, Victor, to co-host the summit, the student summit. I think even since I've been at Microsoft, which has been 2.5 years, but just seeing how Microsoft does things on scale and the impact that you can really make with those 1,000, 3,000 students on the call, but just being part of production like that is also building your professional skills as well as a leader and as a professional as well. So yeah, there's so many different avenues that could happen with this program, but ultimately it's really about empowering your technical skills, but also building that leadership and those soft skills as well. And we try to give you those opportunities to do that. So I am available for any questions. You can add me on LinkedIn, maybe our speakers. If you want to add your LinkedIn, you can as well in the chat. We're more than happy to answer your questions about being in industry or being in the Student Ambassador program. Any technical questions about or like operational questions about the program, you can direct them to me. But Saqib, Ronak and Victor, anything about being a community leader, experiences in the programs, they can definitely help you as well. So thank you everyone for joining, and yeah, we look forward to hopefully welcoming you on board, or at least just being connected online as well. We look forward to being in touch. But thanks everyone. Thanks to all our speakers as well. Bye.
Thank you. And thanks for having us.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.